Hey guys, it's Kim Java here. So there are very few people in life who are actually intelligent enough to carry on a conversation with Elon Musk about anything scientific. However, the man that we are going to go meet today is definitely one of those people. Let's go.
And what I was seeing in the testing did not match up what I was reading in the books. So I started developing my own physics, which I call Scalia physics.
So today I'm meeting with Bill Scalia, and you guys might remember a video that we had made about an electric pickup truck. Plus it's a Tesla too. It's not just the F450. And also about a Mercedes-Benz that had been converted into an electric vehicle. Well, Bill is the other half of that team with Greg, and right now he's working on an invention that I think is really going to change the future of how we're dealing with the coronavirus. You've turned your house into your workshop.
Yeah, I've been self-quarantining, I guess. In 1999, I started developing, I was working on combustion. What we noticed was that vaporized fuels burned very clean.
Bill's background is rather surprising. He doesn't have a PhD or a fancy piece of paper to prove his intelligence.
There's no need even to have a college degree at all, or even high school. You know, if you look at, say, people like Bill Gates or Larry Ellison, Steve Jobs, these guys didn't graduate from college. But if you had a chance to hire them, of course, that would be a good idea.
But Bill clearly has a deep understanding of physics and quite the resume to prove it.
So if an electron breaks the speed of light, it can disrupt that uniform distribution and convert it into a wave.
He started out in the 1980s working on a pit crew. He designed race cars and later moved to convertible conversions. He retrofitted the first wheelchair accessible minivans, later developing hybrid electric taxis.
As you can see, the batteries went down the tunnel, and also the air went down the tunnel. And the idea was most of what you do at highway speed is fight the air resistance.
And remember the story we covered on one of America's rarest EVs? The Atlanta-based all-American EV company was called the WeGo.
This was about as good as an electric car got.
Bill played a big role on development of that vehicle too.
And they brought me a gas-powered car, and I designed this chassis system.
Honestly, we could go on and on with the list on clean energy projects that Bill has worked on, from solar to water purification and even electrifying Cuba's first fleet of battery-powered taxis, and most recently, LED lights.
Where normally in a traditional LED, there's nowhere for the heat to go, so these run at about 60 degrees above ambient, where mine run at 1 degree above ambient.
Okay.
So since they run, the life of an LED is based on the temperature it runs at, so the colder they are, the longer they last.
But what Bill is working on right now has the potential to change everything for the better.
If you had a piece of virus and it was being hit with a radio wave, it would literally float on the wave. The wave would not be able to get inside of it. But since these ultraviolet lights are so small, they can penetrate to the inside of the virus and destroy it.
Based on research from Columbia University and his previous knowledge from the CDC, Bill knew UV light in the spectrum of about 265 nanometers, what's called UVC light, had ability to isolate and destroy airborne viruses like the coronavirus.
So what I've done is I've developed a line of air purification systems, and what it is it's a filter and a UV light board. And what happens is the air comes in the back, it goes through the filter, whatever's in the air gets trapped in the filter, the UV light purifies it, and then clean air comes out the front.
Okay.
So this is a small one that you could hang around your neck. And now if you imagine yourself sitting on a bus,
Yeah.
now you have a high pressure zone of clean air in front of you, and you're not breathing the person's air next to you. And since it's high pressure air, if the virus was coming, it would be pushed away.
That's so cool.
So I envision this for buses, movie theaters, airplanes. So I designed it to run off of a standard USB because all bus seats have USBs now, and airplane seats, and Uber car, everywhere you go there's a USB. So during the trip you don't have to worry about a battery dying.
Bill has not only developed this personalized ultraviolet filtration device, but also larger units for school buses and office buildings as well. He's even currently in talks with several large corporations in hopes of deploying his technology.
And this is a little slogan I've come up with called, "What are you doing about the virus? I'm killing it." Because this actually pulls it in, kills it, and blows out fresh air. So this would be a personal. You have a fan, a filter, an intake, and then the UV lights, so the air comes in, it gets trapped in the filter. It traps mold, dust, pollen, cooking smells, and then it kills it with the UV so you have clean air coming out.
Here, you'll see what we know about the lifespan of the virus on various surfaces. Notice that the outside of a typical surgical mask can host the virus for as long as 7 days.
The mask is a very good thing because it traps, the job of the mask is to trap saliva droplets so that they don't get spread. The more you can trap, the better off. So the mask is a very good preventative thing, but there are some drawbacks with the mask that we're trying to address with an additional technology. If you have the virus, I would recommend that you wear the mask and use this. If you don't have the virus, it would be up to you. I actually like the idea of a mask that is more bandana type mask, and you'd wear it like this, and then the device would actually be underneath it. So now what happens is, instead of the air being sucked by your lungs through this material, now you're being provided with clean air that is building high pressure between your intake and this thing, and the air is actually moving out.
That's fascinating.
Wherever you are, whether it's pollen, mold, dust, we're going to reduce the concentration of whatever's in the air and then provide you with a purified clean air that is right in front of your face. Because when you draw in, if the air right here is clean, you're going to be drawing in clean air.
And that's kind of like when they talk about the viral load.
Right.
That's what they're talking about.
We want to minimize the viral load, exactly.
The device doesn't create any heat or emit any chemicals and is only drawing nearby air into its filtration system to trap and destroy particulates. It poses no health concerns. I feel like I need to get a couple of these and put them in my kids' classrooms at school.
Yes, I believe these should be in schools. And I believe we should use these for like movie theaters, baseball games, football games, traveling. So the other interesting thing is UV light kills all organic material. It kills it on a molecular level. So if you're cooking bacon and you have this in your kitchen, it'll also keep the bacon smell out of your house. I have 3 ladies that have these in their kitchens, and they say it cleans the house of all the kitchen odors.
I need to try that out.
Kind of
I was making broccoli yesterday, and we all know how that smells.
So we don't want to fixate on the virus. I mean, the virus is the current problem, but like in the spring and fall, you have allergies because of pollen and other things. So this is basically, clean air is good no matter what, whether it's mold, dust, pollen, viruses.
Alright guys, we really hope that you enjoyed this video, and please do me a huge favor and click that like button, as we put a lot of time and effort into these videos, and it helps us out tremendously when you click that like button. If you'd like to see more of Bill's SurePure line of filtration systems, check out buysurepure.com. Until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. So one of the things about painting your nails is that there's a really strong smell, and it's not very good for you to breathe. Definitely not good for your baby to breathe. But that's where this air filtration sanitation system is key. You cannot even smell this strong OPI nail polish right now. So we're cleaning the air.
We took that one step further, and we were looking at buses. And we said, well, if we made it in a long tube that you could put on a pedestal at the end of the bus trip, you could plug this in and it would purify the seats on the buses and things like that.
Yeah.
So if I can plug this in, I can show you that with this design, there's no shadows. That's why I have it in this corner. I'm talking to several people. about going into their air conditioning system and putting my lights in a better filter on the air intake for the air conditioning. So now the air conditioning system becomes a purification system also. And so then that purified air would then be blown all around the building. So for, like I say, we can do this anywhere from a small personal thing to a very large scale doing a whole building.
So it's really just all comes down to cleaning that air out, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Dilution is the solution.
Yes.